Why did it take so long? You didn't let him interview with the Chicago Bears, and I just kept trying to understand what exactly is going on here. Then there was a report that they started negotiations. Then there was another report that they hadn't started negotiations. And then we kept wondering, are you missing out on that window to be able to interview? Let's say you want to interview Ben Johnson of the Lions. Well, you missed that opportunity because now this week he has to prepare for their next opponent, the Commanders. Or Aaron Glenn. Whoever, any of these coaching candidates. And I don't know if they were interested in Mike Vrabel. It feels like Mike Vrabel was going to the Patriots, and that was a done deal. But are you interested in Ben Johnson? I'm going to read you something that Tim Cowlishaw, Dallas Morning News, he'll join us coming up a little bit later on. And he talked about Dak Prescott. Like, really, the person you're hiring has to be able to fix Dak Prescott, who I think is around 32 now, had injuries. And Tim Cowlishaw says Dak cannot run anymore. He had 24 rushing yards through 7 games. When he tried to turn back the clock against Atlanta, rushing for 30 yards on 3 carries, the next thing you know, he was having hamstring surgery. Done for the year. Cowlishaw then goes on to say that's 26 games Dak Prescott has missed in the last 5 seasons. So that's just short of 1/3 of the Cowboys' schedule. Immobile and injury-prone, ? Jerry Jones can't even afford to ponder those issues right now. Dak Prescott's $231 million guaranteed deal, the owner can think only in terms of how to fix his quarterback. Who is best to equip to do that? Figure that out, and the Cowboys at least have a shot at getting back in the hunt. Fail on that front in his 9th coaching hire, and Jerry Jones is just spinning the wheels on his once storied and now laughingstock franchise one more time. You got to bring in an offensive-minded person, correct? Or you got to bring in a great offensive coordinator, somebody who's going to fix Dak Prescott. Well, how do you fix a guy who can no longer run, injury-prone, missing almost 1/3 of his games, and the expectation level is Cowboy-like, and that is, let's get back to the playoffs. Let's get back to a title game. Let's get back to a Super Bowl here. I know Deion Sanders and Jerry loves shiny objects. Deion is a shiny object, but is he the right person for this job? I think Deion is great at being a CEO. And by that I mean, I don't know if he's a great coach as much as he can run something. He can oversee something. I think he can hold people accountable. But I don't know if this is a situation where you go, Deion, I don't think Deion makes Dak Prescott better. And I don't know if the story is real. Who does it benefit for this to get out? Jerry? Well, Jerry just wants, publicity. Hey, we're trying everybody. I'm reaching out to Deion. People said, Deion, you should reach out to Deion. I'm reaching out to him. It helps Deion. What if Deion says, hey, I said I'm committed to Colorado. I'm going to be staying here. Like, if I'm a recruit, I want to know, are you really committed to this? And then there was a report, maybe the Raiders and Tom Brady, there was another report that it's not going to happen. Deion is not a candidate for the Raiders. So is Deion a candidate for the Cowboys? As of this morning, I would say he is, but I don't know the full validity of that. Is it true? Is it accurate? Is it real? And I think that's what we have to kind of sort out. And Tim Cowlishaw will join us coming up at the top of next hour. And I don't know, Deion and Jerry are good friends. Is it a good story, or is it a good situation, a real situation? And what happened with Mike McCarthy? I kept reading that they wanted to they were going to extend him for 1 more year. 1 more year. That was it. And if you're Mike McCarthy, that's a slap in the face. I mean, you're a borderline Hall of Fame coach. You won a Super Bowl. You got a pretty impressive resume. And Jerry's going to treat you like that. Does he really want you? It's like you're going to get divorced. You don't want somebody to date the person that you're divorcing, but then you don't want to keep that person. That's the feeling I get. Mike McCarthy, we questioned the hiring from the beginning. I thought he did a pretty good job, but Jerry doesn't want – see, Deion, I think, would he would return fire on Jerry. I think that he would question things. At least I would hope that he would. If you want to go in there and succeed, you have to be able to stand up to Jerry and say no. And nobody has done that. He's hired people who won't do that, can't do that, not willing to do that. Deion's different. But you got to fix Dak Prescott because you gave him all that money and you're stuck with him. $231 million for a guy who's 32 and injury prone. It's not a great situation. And you got to pay Micah Parsons. You paid CeeDee Lamb. So you have a couple of nice, shiny objects. But what do you really have? It's like a necklace where you have, 3 or 4 beautiful pearls and everything else is artificial. And that's sort of where the Cowboys are.